guys, I'm back again and I have for you today a humongous book haul. Okay, now, you know I'm doing my writing course at the moment and I'm on week 4. There's a video update coming for that sometime soon this week. But, of course, I've been buying books here and there and they're starting to really pile up. I mean, now, there's some of these I bought a while back and forgot to show them. And some of them I bought recently. So, I'm going to try to be quick and brief and, show you what I've got, what I've, accumulated. But with the idea that, keep in mind, I'm going to be doing another video at some point where I give you the breakdown of a list of maybe 20-25 books that I'm going to try to get through before the end of the year. So that is to really bump up my list from books that I already own so I can start reading more and more of them, because it's, at the moment my reading is completely off and I'm reading about 4 books at the same time. So let's get started. I mean, there's a lot of books to show. So the first 4 books I'm going to show are these. Now, I bought these 4 books on the book depository sale that they had just, like maybe a month and a half ago or something. I paid maybe €5 per book. So I didn't kill, my bank account on that one. Now, the first one I picked up was Tehran, Lipstick, and Loopholes. I was interested in this book because I used to live in Cairo for 3.5 years. And this one is basically a girl. Her name is Nahal Tahadud. And she's writing about the account of her getting her Iranian passport renewed. So I thought this would be kind of interesting to read because she is from there and would give a real insight on these kinds of things. So, it does have a little bit of a comical feel to it from the way, the pictures are and everything. So this would be, I thought it would be kind of cool to read. All right. Next, I picked up Emma Donahue's The Sealed Letter. Now, this one has a bit of a 19th century Victorian. It's Victorian London. It's a woman who is having an affair with a younger man, and her friend is helping her do that. So she's covering for the main character. So I will be reading actually Room with ke-sha from ke-sha Forsaken. And yes, we'll be doing a buddy read of Room, and I think it's going to be the month of May or June. But this would be kind of cool to read too, even though it is kind of chunky. But, it could be interesting to read. Okay, next I picked up, of course, Tell the Wolves I'm Home. I don't need to tell you anything else about this book. Everybody has owned this book, read it, reviewed it. So then I picked up E.L. Doctorow, Homer and Langley. This is a beautiful book, actually. Now, I only own 2 books by E.L. Doctorow. I own Ragtime and this. Ragtime, I saw the review from Dominique from Token in America, and that got me on to wanting to read E.L. Doctorow. And then I saw this one on sale, and it's about 2 brothers who grow up in New York, in the upper class bourgeois New York, and one of the brothers comes back from the war. And when he comes back, I think they lose their parents, and then they have to learn how to survive, that kind of thing. So I picked that one up. Next, I picked up Rhode Island Red by Charlotte Carter. And this one I picked up because of Troi Towel. He did his video during #ReadSoLit where he talked about Black female detective writers. And this was one of the ones he suggested, and I really like this edition. I picked it up for €3 online on Amazon, and I think it's pretty cool. Girl with the natural hair, New York City buildings, coffee, and although I don't drink coffee, but saxophones. So I'm going to try this one out and see what it's like. It is a series, kind of long, but who knows. Next, I picked up The Last Original Wife by Dorothea Benton Frank. Now, this isn't really down my normal genre to pick up, but I saw it and I thought this would be kind of like a really interesting summer read. I don't know a thing about Dorothea Benton Frank. she's a Southern lady. I think she's from South Carolina or something like that. And all her books are set in South Carolina. And this one is about a wife who feels neglected. And like maybe she might be on her way out of her marriage because all her husband's friends are taking younger women. So I thought, okay, I'll give this a try for a light read. Next, I picked up Elliot Perlman's The Street Sweeper. Now, The Street Sweeper was suggested through my writing course because Elliot Perlman is known for beautiful writing. He's known for excellent descriptions, and because we were you know, doing character, this was suggested. Now that doesn't mean we have to read it, but I figured I would try to pick it up and, you know, read this work because he is known, but he's an Australian writer, and I never heard anybody on BookTube talk about Elliot Perlman. So I'm gonna give him a try. Next, I picked up Brixton Beach, and this is by Roma Tiern. I really like this cover because it's very interesting. I don't know if you can see that picture there of people like in you know, in the streets of London or something. But this one, it says, when family tragedy strikes, Alice Fonseca, a dreamy artistic child with a Sinhalese mother and a Tamil father, leaves the beautiful island of Sri Lanka. Unable to bear the injustice of what has happened, her family heads for England. There, in the cold urban landscape of London, Alice grows up, creating a life for herself with all that this means. Struggles, a home in London, and a blossoming of the art through which she expresses herself. But there is much she cannot find: understanding, peace, lasting love. She has nearly given up when, unbidden, it blooms brightly. Then, on the clear summer morning of July 7, 2005, violence crosses her path again. Okay, so yeah, I like the way this one really sounds. Mathis, you might like this one, I think. Next, I picked up Paul Beatty's The Sellout. It's spanking brand new. Just came out, I think, a month ago or something. And I'll read you that one because it's kind of hard to describe. Usually his books have a certain sense of comedy and satire to it with an important subject. So this one, it says, a biting satire about a young man's isolated upbringing and an appeal of a race trial that sends him to the Supreme Court. It challenges the sacred tenets of the U.S. Constitution, urban life, the civil rights movement, the father-son relationship, and the holy grail of racial equality, the Black Chinese restaurant. Okay, so you get an idea. So yeah, this one looks like it could be extremely interesting. Hardly anybody talks about Paul Beatty. I don't know. I picked up Austin Clarke's trilogy. It's called the Toronto, what's it called? The Toronto Trilogy. Okay, so Austin Clarke is from the Caribbean. Then he went and moved to Toronto. I'm not really sure when in his life he moved to Toronto, but I think he still lives in Toronto now. But I was talking to somebody on another channel, and this really nice person gave me a long list of Caribbean writers I could check out. Now at the moment, I'm really hot on the trail of Jamaica Kincaid. But I decided to pick these up because they were only it was like €2 a book or something. So I picked these up. They're used, you know, but they're in pretty good condition. I took off all of the, you know, the sticky stuff. The first one is called The Meeting Point. Okay, now these books are really interesting the way they look. Then the second one is called Storm of Fortune. I just love these covers. And the third one is called The Bigger Light. Okay, now this is another author that I hear no one talking about on BookTube, so I don't know, whatever. Here they are, and I really would like to get to these before the end of the year. Now, it's true, you know me in trilogies, we do not get along. Duology, 3 books, 7 books, 10 books. You know I don't like that, but I'm going to give it a go. Next, I picked up The Street by Ann Petrie. And I love this book. Now, I haven't, you know, I really wanted to pick this book up so badly when it showed up in my box 2 weeks ago. And I just, oh my God. I just can't. I can't. I'm reading 4 books at the moment. It's just not happening. And until I finish those, it's only then when I can actually pick up something new. So I read the first 8 pages and I was hooked. Now, if you want to know more about this book, I'm going to link Danielle's video from OneSmallPaw. She did a review on this and she absolutely loved it and was dying for somebody to read it so she could discuss it with them because she thought it was so good. Now, I can tell you the first few pages I read, the writing is excellent. So pick it up. Next, I picked up Black Orchids by, I guess, Gillian Slovo. All right, now this one, it says, when the genteelly impoverished and rebellious Evelyn marries Emile, a rich and privileged Senegalese, she thinks that her dream of life in England can at last come true. So the couple and their young son Milton make the long journey to Tilbury Docks. But it's the 1950s and England does not take kindly to families who are half black and half white. A profound and moving novel about outsiders, about race, and about Britain. Black Orchids is a story about the search to feel at home in your own skin. So yeah, I have never heard of this writer before, but I saw this one. I think it was on somebody's blog. This person has won the Orange, was shortlisted for the Orange Prize with a book called Ice Road. So there. Now, I picked up John Edgar Wideman. This was a suggestion from Denise D Cooper called Sent for You Yesterday. It came. I was really happy to see that it came. It's an excellent, it's spanking brand new, but guess what? Look at the inside. Oh, my people, my people. I just can't bear that, where you have these wide margins, tiny, tiny writings squashed up together, and then they're going to put it in bold so that you really go blind in the end. Anyway, I don't know. I'm going to see if I can read this. I don't know how I'm going to do, but I'm going to try. Next, I picked up Miss Hazel and the Rosa Parks League by Jonathan Odell. Okay, now, this beautiful book, the way it looks on the outside. I now own all 3 of his books. I was put over the edge of actually wanting to finally pick up and read The Healing when I saw Tasha's video. Tasha is Denise's daughter. If you haven't checked out Tasha, go check her out. I'm going to link her below too. I'm going to link Denise D Cooper because you need to watch her as well. And from what Tasha was saying, the sensitivity in which Odell treats racism and slavery and, you know, race relations, she thought that it was treated very well because Jonathan Odell is a white man from Mississippi. And I think it was Denise sent me a video of him talking about why he started writing about life in Mississippi. And the way he talked about it as race relations is a two-sided issue. And so both sides have a point of view is basically what he's saying. But yet, yeah, I'm just interested to see where that's going to go. Because, I mean, you know, if you've seen my video on white writers writing about the Black experience, you know that I'm not too keen on that kind of thing. Because I think Black writers need to write about the Black experience, and Black writers need to be validated and talked about and celebrated for writing about the Black experience. And that's not so much what we get at the moment. So, yeah, so there's that one. Then I picked up Daughter by Asha Bandeli, and this one is about mother-daughter relationship. At 19, Aya is a promising Black college student from Brooklyn who is struggling through a difficult relationship with her emotionally distant mother, Miriam. One night, Aya is shot by a white police officer in a case of mistaken identity. Keeping vigil by her daughter's hospital bed, Miriam remembers her own youth, her battle for independence from her parents, her affair with Aya's father, and the challenges of raising her daughter. So yeah, it's one of those mother-daughter books, but I thought it was interesting because the way I heard the person talk about this book, and I think I saw it first on Instagram, and then I went and looked a little bit more for it, and I thought it was interesting. So yeah. Then I picked up The Autobiography of My Mother by Jamaica Kincaid. And you know I love me some Jamaica Kincaid. I mean, after Lucy, after Annie John, A Small Place, and then I picked up the Autobiography of My Mother because somebody had seen my review on my blog and they went to a book sale and they were giving this particular book away for like €1 or something like that. And she quickly grabbed it up and she read it and she loved it. So I might have to get to this one kind of soon too, because I do like Jamaica Kincaid. And then last but not least, I picked up The Missing, which is by Tim Gautreaux. Okay, and Tim Gautreaux is a man who's from Louisiana. He's a Cajun, so he's from Louisiana where I'm from. And he has written this book which takes place in 1920s Louisiana. It says The Missing, a masterful novel set in 1920s Louisiana. The Missing is the story of Sam Simoneau, a floor walker at a New Orleans department store. When a little girl is kidnapped on Sam's watch, he is haunted by guilt, grief, and ghosts from his own troubled past. Determined to find her, Sam sets out on a journey through a world of music and violence where riverboats teem with drinking and dancing and where dark swamplands conceal those who choose to live by their own laws. That sounds really good. So, that's all I have for you today. That was my last massive book haul. So I hope you like this. I hope you enjoyed looking at some of these because a lot of these I'm sure you'd never heard of before. And some of them I hadn't even heard of before. So yeah, here's to new authors on BookTube. Yeah, so I'll be back with, like I said, the 25 TBR pushing up to the top list. And I'm going to also do a video, a couple of reviews, 1 or 2 reviews. I just finished reading The Light Between Oceans, and no, I will not be reviewing that, but I will tell you a little bit about, you know, what I thought about it in one of the videos, probably in my wrap up. Yeah, because everybody has reviewed this book. I mean, it's, you know, I'm not gonna waste my time on that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep reading and I'm gonna keep writing.